Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. I have all my ingredients ready, so we're going to get right into the recipe. Today's recipe is going to be for what's called cornbread salad. Now, years ago, it's probably been at least 23 years ago, I was at a luncheon after ladies' Bible class, and some women were sitting around. They kept going after this big giant bowl of stuff, and I just thought, it just looks like a bunch of junk thrown in a bowl. I didn't get what it was, and everybody started talking about this salad. They were going nuts over it. Well, I wasn't really that interested in it, but then later on, I got to thinking about it. That might actually be pretty good. And I was trying to just recall the things that I remembered being in it. So this may not be anything like what that salad was like, so I'm not going to take credit for making the cornbread salad. This is just one that I made up. So I'm going to show you a picture of the actual recipe that I wrote down. You'll think that's pretty funny because I don't write recipes like normally people do with a lot of details about what to do next and all this. I just scribble it down or draw a picture of it. So this is pretty funny, so I'll do that at the end. So what we've done is we've made our pan of cornbread. We had a video on that a couple of months ago, and we will try to put a link to that in the description, not in the description, but actually on the screen. So we'll put a link to how to make cornbread. So we have that in our skillet, and I don't think we'll use all this, but I'm just going to take it. We're going to take big pieces of it and just crumble it up. If you can get some kids to help you, they would like doing this because it's tearing up something. And the only hard part is refraining from actually eating some of it. I'm guessing we're going to use about half this pan of cornbread. So if you're, wondering what do I do with leftover cornbread and you just never know, which I don't either. I always know what to do with leftover cornbread, and it's called eat it. But I can heat it up and put some butter on it, or do like my granddad did, just crumble it up into a glass of milk. And I know that people from anywhere north of southern United States is probably looking at their screen now going, what is she talking about? I'm just telling you, it's a thing. Okay, so we've used half of our pan of cornbread. There's our pan of cornbread, and it's about half gone. I'm going to scoot that out of the way. And right now, this is just a layer of cornbread. You don't have to worry about getting it in fine crumbles. It really doesn't matter. The next thing we're going to add is our pinto beans. Now, I had a short little clip of taking dry pinto beans, rinsing them really well, putting them in hot water. I soaked them overnight, and then cooked them in our slow cooker. So I'm just going to put a layer of that on there. Things you really like, put a thick layer. Things you don't like as much, put a thin layer. That's really all the instructions that I have for you. So I've used that container. This was 1 cup of dry beans, so it made between 2.5 and 3 cups of cooked pinto beans. The next thing we're going to add is some frozen corn. I've opened this bag to use for something else, but this is just organic, super sweet cut corn. This is from Trader Joe's, and I could eat frozen corn like it's candy. It is so good. Now, you wouldn't necessarily want to put a super thick coat of or layer of this on there, but I would. But I would say just put it on there to where it looks pretty even. I'll leave a little bit in this bag, but not much. So I would say roughly maybe a cup. The nice thing about this salad is make a big one, make an individual one, make them in, you could actually make these in canning jars. And if you're having a group over and you really don't want people digging into your salad, which I'm guilty of that, I'm one of those people that goes, they touch the tongs. I don't know if I'm really that hungry or not. But if you want to be very conscientious about that, you can take pint canning jars, layer your ingredients in those, and do it just like we're doing now. And everybody has their own little salad. It's so much fun. Okay, next ingredient is chopped red peppers. Now, these are sweet bell peppers, and I just used the mini bell peppers. I had a bag of those, so I used all the red ones out of there. We're going to put a layer of that on here. Make sure your bowl is plenty big enough to hold everything. Yep, I used it all. Just spread it evenly. Now that frozen corn, don't worry about it being frozen because this is going to go in the refrigerator for overnight. So everything is going to kind of, the stuff on the top, the dressing is the ranch dressing that we made in the previous video is going to be what's on the top, and that's going to drip down and go all the way down into the cornbread. So the juice from the beans, the juice from everything is going to be going down into the bottom. So it's all going to kind of go together. So don't worry about it not reaching the bottom. It will. Okay, these are just chopped onions. I have some yellow onions and I chopped them with my handy dandy little chopper machine thing that I have. My doggies are standing right at my feet because right now they can hear the rain hitting the vent or the pipe above my vent hood. And they panic when it rains because they think it's going to thunder. And it might. They are not a fan of thunder, so they're sitting very nearby. Okay, next thing we're going to add is just sliced cherry tomatoes. And I rinsed these and sliced them. This is not only an absolutely delicious salad, it's actually one that people like, even if they say, I don't really like red peppers, or if it's me, I'm not a fan of raw onions, and I've never been, but I've gotten better about it as I've gotten older, and I can tolerate them in some things, but just the bitterness of it all is not appealing to me. But in this salad, it absolutely is perfect. I can't even explain it. But people like it just because it's so colorful. They almost can't resist it. Okay, I shredded some sharp cheddar cheese this morning. Don't you love all my different containers? So people on videos, they have all these little matching bowls and stuff. I'm like, oh, just grab a yogurt container, you're fine. We don't want to distract from the food. That's what it's about, is the food. Okay, now at some point you might have to just press this down in the bowl, but don't press it down too compact because you want the stuff to be able to flow all the way down into the bottom of it. And if you want to shred your cheese a little finer than this, then that's fine. I actually normally shred it on a finer shred, but I didn't this morning. Okay, every little speck out of there. And now for the final ingredient is our homemade ranch dressing that we made yesterday. And we made a video of this. Make sure you check it out. It should be the one just before this video. And I shook it up a while ago. And as you can see, this is a half-pint jar. Just pour it as evenly as you can all the way around it. If you have a deeper bowl, you can cover this to put it in the refrigerator. If it's like this and it's heaped up like a snow cone on top of a bowl, I won't be able to put a cover on it for it to sit in the refrigerator overnight, but that's okay. I normally do put it in a deeper bowl, but I wanted you to be able to see the product, and with a deeper bowl, you just can't quite see at the bottom of it, no matter how I set up the camera. All right, you don't have to spread it around. I'm just doing that to try to get the dressing off of the spatula. Okay, and that is it. And by all means, if you want to put more dressing on it, go ahead and put more dressing on it. If you like tons of dressing, go ahead. But this is actually going to just seep through everything and go down to that cornbread overnight. And this turns out to be such an incredibly good salad. So if I remember to video this being served, great. And if I don't, then just know we consumed it all. Okay, I'm going to unplug this and I'm going to show you what my recipe looks like. Maybe you'll think this is funny as I do. Okay, I wrote, it's 5 stars. It was a very good recipe, but that's apparently my big clear bowl, my big salad bowl, and then I have everything layered down. So that's my fancy way of writing the recipe. So anyway, okay, give you another look at this, and that is our cornbread salad. Folks, I hope you give this a try, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Hey guys, this is kind of the PS from the video for cornbread salad, and what I wanted to let you know, I gotta be totally honest, I don't think there was enough dressing on that, so my recommendation would be to make a full recipe of it. This is how it looks now because I just poured another batch of dressing on it. Now what I didn't do and what I normally do is, I told you this in the first video, I didn't cover it up because I wanted to use a shallow bowl so you could see the whole process. But to my demise, it kind of dried out just a little bit in the refrigerator, so it didn't allow all that dressing to soak to the bottom. So my recommendation at this point is put parchment over it if it's heaped up. I'll show you what this is like. So this is what the top of the bowl looks like. If you have to, put a piece of parchment over it, then put a shower cap or a cover or something over that, and that way it will stay nice and moist on the inside. So sorry for the wobbly camera. I'm just trying to show you this as I'm fixing to make something else. But I didn't want to leave this out because I don't want you to try something and then go, this didn't even turn out like she said it would in the video. So I don't trust the videos anymore. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. Because I didn't put a cover on it, I think that's the reason it didn't kind of soak into the bottom. It looked like it was just kind of floating on the top. Not really floating, but it was drying out on the top more than what it normally does. So my recommendation at this point, do what I always do instead of what I did yesterday, is put a cover on it and the dressing will soak to the bottom. So hopefully we'll get this consumed the next couple of days. We'll invite friends over and have something else with it. And or maybe we'll just have it by itself. It's just that good. So thanks for watching.